Live life so that you create good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so that you radiate good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so that you generate good vibes. The good vibes. Live life so as to emanate good vibes. The good vibes. Spread the message of your life with good vibes. With good vibes. With good vibes. Welcome to the Good Vibes podcast. Hey my friends, and welcome to this episode of the Good Vibes. I'm super excited that you are over here. Today we will continue on our journey of evolved learning. Evolved learning is when we learn from all the people in our lives and otherwise, all the things and experiences that we encounter. In general, we learn from life. So get pumped up now to feel alive with the good vibes. What is kicking, good vibers? I'm your host Tushar speaking, tuning in from Bangalore, India. I hope you are safe. I hope your family is safe. Your relatives are safe. Your neighbors are safe. I hope you are keeping well, staying fit, eating healthy, and generally being good, like keeping yourself happy. That's important. Finding ways to keep yourself happy, and if listening to this podcast is one of them, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm showing up and serving for you today, and we are going to talk about what do you do when you feel irritated. I hope that I gave enough time for our meeting, because I take these podcasts like I'm actually meeting you, right? And it's important to warm up the conversation, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I go straight into the topic. Sometimes I feel let's warm up, let's get to know what's happening at that end. And believe it or not, I get to know what's happening. I know what's up, because every time I speak, I know that it clicks for you, right? And if you've been listening, some of you may just go thinking, how? That's what I was thinking, and that's what he's spoken about. How is it clicking? It's because I know, I just get to know. If you look at it, I'd actually call it I was meant to speak with you this way, and this is our conversation. I would have got this topic. I look at it in that way. Yeah, I go deep over there. I see it I got this topic for a reason, and this topic is something perhaps even you needed to hear, and that's why it's just syncing up. We have this conversation, and such conversations are perhaps not something that are had on a daily basis. You may not have them with your direct family or friends at a very condensed level, right? Where you're only speaking about life and happenings of life and other happenings of life. I think this is a great place to have that condensed discussion, because that feeds your soul somewhere, right? It fills you up with something, with joy or contentment or peacefulness. It makes you feel like there is, without denying the fact that there is a basic human need to feel happy about yourself. about your perspective of yourself, so that we can be good to others. It's great to have these kind of conversations and discussions, and knowing that every conversation or friendship or relationship that you have may not have created the space for a discussion like this. That's why this is the sacred space where we have such discussions, and I'm very grateful and lucky to be having it with you. Grateful, lucky, and I'm just happy that this is a very safe space to have such talks. Very unique also. And today we are talking about what do you do when you feel irritated. So, irritation. Go ahead, tell me what you think irritation is. And when was the last time you got irritated? Was it just 2 minutes ago? And that's why you're tuning in. And some of you are asking, how do you know, Tushar? It's because we get irritated very often. And it's a very natural part of our being. How I've seen it is that irritation is, again, when you do not have control over something, you're lacking control, or something's not working according to how you want it, and you do not know how to deal with it and handle it. That's when you have bursts and fits of irritation. Sometimes they are very intense, sometimes they are mild, sometimes they are so subtle that it can just tick a person off at the right instance, or it can just get to you. So it's like a undercurrent of irritation which is happening. Whatever it is, I would like you right now, at this moment, to just take a deep breath. And tell me, are you feeling irritated in any respect, aspect, context of life, in your life? Is there a mild irritation, or is there deep, like you're going to just lose it right now? You're going to lose it, like really lose it. Do you feel that? Do you feel peaceful, calm, no irritation? Like life's good, all's good. I'm just having a fun time. Like, where are you on the scale of feeling no irritation, feeling just content and peaceful? Maybe you're facing different emotions. Maybe you're facing confusion, or you're facing regret or embarrassment. You're facing something else. Is that causing you irritation? Is there anything which is causing you discomfort, is basically what I'm asking. And how intense is it? I would just like you to be aware about it and tell me, how intense is it? Is it very intense? Is it not intense at all? Because awareness is key. And time again, I reaffirm the fact that emotions are not wrong, they're natural. Expressing these emotions are also not wrong, they're natural. But expressing them in a way which doesn't hurt anybody is our aim and goal. Because ultimately we are responsible for ourselves and the reality that we manifest. And we do not need to hurt anybody in our reality, in our surroundings. No one deserves including us. We deserve the good, which doesn't mean that these emotions will not arise. They do arise. And when they arise, our goal is to understand and to create a pathway for a free flow of these emotions, so that they lead us to something more pleasant, probably, something more innovative, something different. And it's very interesting over here because I cannot give you the answer for the question, what is that solution? How do I convert the energy of irritation to, let's say, a creative force or something that's happy? I can tell you my tricks of the trade, but customizing such things to your own unique situation is what really helps, and is what sometimes gets the best out of people, right? Now, giving an example for me, I meditate, due to which I am able to be very aware of when I get irritated. There are times where I am not able to. There are times when I am not able to control the irritation, and I express it or I vent it out. But I realize that, okay, that's not right, and I try to find my center again and be a calmer person again. A recent example, I think, if you've heard one of my previous podcasts, I spoke about it. I was irritated because, in this example, I was irritated because I asked a girl out and I wanted to date her, and it didn't work out because she was already dating somebody. And at that exact moment I was not irritated, but through the day, various other events and the fact that I was thinking about this and I was not being productive at home caused me to feel irritated. And I was not very kind or polite with my mother in the morning, and it was her anniversary that day, and I didn't wish her. I said that celebrate it. Like I was not the best of the best on that day, and I am using this example a lot of times because it's very relevant to me, and it's a very good, I guess you can call it a aid for me to help explain things in context of a real and personal situation and circumstance, because these are things which actually teach you. And I'm 20, and I like to date girls, and I find girls pretty, and all of that is happening. I guess we do not need to go into the details of that. I'm just a regular guy who likes girls, and I don't know. I think I should continue from actually, to keep it real, when I imagine myself speaking with people of my age people, this is the generation of actually sexual liberation, or creative thinking, or liberal thought processes, and asking questions like, are you heterosexual or homosexual, are very frequent and common. And I'm a very open-minded person, and I would say that I'm attracted to humans. I'm attracted to people who are loving and kind, and I do not have any sexual preference. I love kind people. I think this sexual orientation is called humanitarianism, and I fit right in that category of like a very broad spectrum. I think some people call it pansexual also, but I do not see it that way. I see it more of a in the terms of humanitarianism. I first see people as people, and that's very important for me. But my preferences stay right now, at least for all that I have discovered within myself, are towards girls. Having said all of that, I think that's good and deep clarification, even for myself. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I find a lot of girls pretty, but right now, so this was this one girl who I had seen in college, and I knew her for 1.5 years. I'd spoken with her a few times, and I didn't know I liked her. And I found out that I liked her, and I don't know why I like her. And I asked her that, will you date me? And that's the tricky thing. Sometimes I don't know why I like people. I just like them because they're nice people. And that's one of the most difficult things for someone to accept or believe, as it feels like a fake compliment. It feels like something is insincere about what this person is saying or doing, or he doesn't exactly mean what he says. And justifying such things is also a very difficult thing, because in reality there's really no need to justify such feelings, such emotions and thoughts, because they are so natural and pure. Why bother justifying them? Why try and getting into whether that's real and whether that's sincere and genuine? Because if it is really sincere and genuine, it just really is. And that's what got me irritated. It's so clear now, and I am feeling so happy I spoke about this, because I really didn't know what was irritating me. And the same thing happened with 2-3 other girls before her, where I gave them cards. Then I didn't know how to express myself, and I didn't know how to let them know that I find them cute, or how to let them know that they're such beautiful people in my eyes, in a way that doesn't scare them. Most people are scared of such intense thoughts and compliments, and I can understand why. If you tell me that, I'd probably not be scared. But having, like, everybody is not in the same mind space as you, right? Everybody is going through their own life, and if there are not a lot of people in their life who are complimenting them on a regular basis in that manner, or are being so genuine, they may feel that that's fraud because that never happens, or if a person does that, he's doing it for a reason. And it was this was the last thing that I was not upset about the situation not working out, but I was upset that, or I got irritated because of this. And a few things that really helped me out were walking in the evenings, and being well hydrated, drinking enough water, and most importantly, I kept trying to stick to my schedule, doing small and menial things When you're irritated, you often would like to overthink it, get a better situation, get a better grip of the situation. This is a more, I'm talking of a more, if you get irritated at the moment, the best thing to do is to find some space for yourself. This is what I told you already, that I felt very irritated with my mother. I came back to my room, I found some space, I gave myself half a day to just get ready. And also doing small tasks like washing the plates, having a bath in the morning, going for a walk, neatening up your room. These tasks, they give you a lot of mind space to process information, and you're being with yourself, and you're neatening your room, so you're using your energy for something that will help you or make you feel a little clearer later in the day. And that not only clears your room, but it also clears your mind space. So I find that to be a very good solution. In fact, very good. It's also diverting your energies to your hobbies and interests. And it's just those two moments where you don't feel like doing something, where you push yourself and do something, and then suddenly you will find yourself in a flow. And you'll also understand why you're irritated, and probably find peace, because the aim is to feel peaceful. There's no happiness without peace. And when you feel at peace, you're able to share the same feeling with the people around you, and it has a ripple effect. Just imagine two similar stories. Like, one is you get irritated with somebody, and that person takes it out on somebody, and somebody, and that cycle continues. And the second is, maybe somebody is irritated and they take it out on you, and you just don't react. You're peaceful because you're centered. And the next person that comes to you also is centered, because you pass on positivity and hope and cheer. And when this happens, you are really benefiting society by staying centered. So, summarizing, how should we summarize all that has been spoken? Of course, I really dug into myself and I shared a lot. Summarizing, what do you do when you get irritated, is first find clarity on what is irritating you. Many a times you don't know what that is. And like I said, you'll have to find out how to do that for yourself. For me, it was recording this podcast, right? And maybe something is still irritating me. So I will go and try to find out what it is that is irritating me. And after knowing that, always sticking to making sure you do your small routines of either washing your plate or washing your clothes, the small daily activities in the day which give you the mind space to be with yourself in case you aren't. Meditating, of course, was the first on my list. So meditating, taking a walk, being well hydrated so that your mind has clarity and is rid of all toxins, and doing the routines of the day would be the summary of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you felt like a friend was there for you today, because that's really who I want to be, and that's really who I am. I am there here for you, and you can expect me and actually revisit me whenever you want. I am your 2 a.m. friend. That's what they call it. Just call me up whenever. I'll always be there on this podcast. So anytime you feel you're feeling low, anytime you're feeling like you need company, feel free to hear any of my podcasts. I also have another podcast called The Tushar Show, where I have done other podcast experiments, so you may enjoy that too. I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I will meet you again next time.
Hey my friends, did you enjoy this podcast? If you did, do rate, review and subscribe to it on iTunes or whichever app or application you are using. And if you feel someone in your life needs to hear this message, don't think twice about sharing it. Or if you feel this inspires you to record one of your own podcasts, go ahead and spread the good vibes. Spread the message of your life.